Hi, welcome. Today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite new sauces that I've developed and kind of played with. Now this sauce is meant to capture really the beautiful ingredients that are available now at the end of February, beginning of March here in Northern California, but there are also ingredients that are widely available this time of year, really I think across the regions. What we have to start, and one of my favorite ingredients really of this time of year, is a fennel bulb. Now I'm going to take the fennel bulb and I'm going to clean it. Usually you have to cut away a good amount of this stuff right here and then just work with the bulb. You take the core out and then we're going to medium dice it and saute it in a little olive oil and salt, and that will be kind of the base of the dish, the sauce for the dish. And then we have some Moro blood oranges, which I'm going to zest, and then I'm going to segment out, and I'm going to juice as well. Now for me, Moro blood oranges are really, they capture the essence of winter here for me in California. I grew up on the East Coast and it was cold this time of year. It's pretty miserable, like 40 degrees, and the rain would come down but it wouldn't snow. And I would dream when I was a little girl of living in a place that was different. And you know, in my 20s I was lucky enough to move out to California, and now I get to enjoy blood oranges in the middle of the winter. It's pretty awesome, I have to say. We have some avocado, a nice organic avocado that I'm going to take, and I'm going to small dice this. 3/4 of a cup basically is what we're aiming to be left with. And then we have some fresh chive that I literally just went to the garden to harvest. Now this chive is really special to me because the chive plant basically dies back in the middle of the winter here, and then it starts to grow in February, and this is the first little handful of new chives that I've been able to harvest. So that's the sauce. It's a beautiful avocado, blood orange, and fennel sauce. It's similar to a salsa, and it works very well with shrimp. I had it with some roasted shrimp the other day, and it was so good. But it also works with salmon, halibut, almost any kind of fish or seafood. It would be delightful with. I think it actually would also work with roasted pork or a pork chop that you've pan fried, as well as chicken. I would go with like a chicken thigh that has a nice crispy skin to balance kind of the acidity in the blood orange. So that's that. I'll be right back for the next part. Okay, so welcome back. About halfway through the process of making this sauce, and I wanted to show you what I did with the avocado. So I think the easiest way to handle an avocado, first you want to make sure it's ripe, so it has just a slight give to it, but it's not too mushy. And then wash it, and then cut it in half, take away the stem, and then you can scoop out with a large stainless steel spoon that avocado meat. And then I like to slice it diagonally, and then cut down across the avocado, and then make my small dices by going this way. So this way you basically have relatively uniform small dices for the avocado. Now in this bowl here I have my blood orange, and so what this is it's a 1/3 cup blood orange segments, and I've cut each segment in half so that way they're relatively bite size. And then we have some juice, some blood orange juice, and that's 1.5 teaspoons of that. And then finally you have a little zest, the blood orange zest. And I zest obviously the oranges before I cut them up for juice and for the segments, and that's 1/2 teaspoon of the finely zested blood orange. Now I also have some wonderful fennel here being sauteed in some olive oil with just a little salt. I like to season, you know, as I go, so there's a little salt here. Now what I'm going to do is make sure that I put this avocado in the blood orange juice ASAP, otherwise it'll brown. And you want to take the same care at home. So you want to make sure that basically your avocado is submerged and surrounded with the acidity of the orange, and that way it won't oxidize and turn brown while the fennel is cooking and cooling. And so the fennel will cook, I'll let it cool, and then basically I'll combine all the ingredients, and you'll see I'll add a little bit of hot pepper flakes. So more to come in just a moment. Hang tight. Okay, so this is the base of the sauce. We have the fennel that I had sauteed in about a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil and a little salt. Sauteed that, and then I let it cool, and then I added it to the blood orange avocado mixture. And then I also added a quarter of a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. These are just slightly spicy, and I like a little heat in my sauces. If you're heat sensitive, you know, you don't like things too spicy hot, you might cut it back to 1/8 of a teaspoon or just cut it out altogether. And then I also have my chopped sage. Look at that. Fresh chopped sage. I finally chop it, and then I'm going to throw it in just at the last minute right before I serve the sauce. So that way the chives don't turn brown or anything. So here we go. Chive is in the bowl, and I'm going to mix it up. I'm recording in one hand and mixing in the other, so bear with me. It's not the best shot right now, but you get the idea. So you mix it up like that, and then you might want to add a little more acidity, like a little more blood orange juice or maybe a squeeze of lemon, and then more olive oil depending on your palate. And so let's taste it right now to see what we need to do next. So for that, I have a little tasting spoon over here that I'm going to grab. Give it a little stir around. Nice, you know, heaping taste there. Actually, that's pretty good. I don't think I really need to add anything but a little dash of olive oil to create like a little unctuous flavor there. And that's that. So I'm going to mix this up, and then I'll be with you in just a moment. Okay, now it's time for my favorite part, the tasting part and the eating part. That's the best part of cooking. So for that, what I've done is I have a shrimp. Well, I have several shrimp, but I'm going to eat one with you. That I cooked in just a little olive oil and sea salt. And that was it. I just pan fried it really quickly. That doesn't take long to cook shrimp. And so it's nice and tender this way. And then I peeled it of its skin. I like to cook the shrimp in the skin because I think that the skin itself, or the shell I should say, the shell actually helps it retain its moisture and flavor. Just like I like to cook my chicken with the bones on and so forth. So here we go. We have a little of the sauce here that I'm going to put on my shrimp. And yeah, that's the money shot. So good. It's incredible to me what a good sauce does to a dish. And so with the shrimp, it tends to be a little fatty and it's mild. And so you want a sauce, I think, with acidity in it, and that's mild relatively as well. And this blood orange, avocado, and fennel sauce really does that. It's wonderful. Now, how would you serve this? What I would do with the rest of the shrimp, you know, if I had some guests over, is I would skewer them, just like a little toothpick maybe, on them, and lay them out on the plate and sprinkle the sauce around the plate and on top of the actual shrimp so that people get to eat it. You can also serve this in a small bowl and then have people peel the shrimp themselves and kind of dig into the small bowl, the individual small bowls that the sauce is in. Other ways to serve it, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if I was cooking halibut or salmon or like a big, you know, fish of some sort that actually would come in like a flayed out piece, you could just spoon it over the top. A nice little diagonal around of the sauce on the top, I think would be really good. So a good sauce to make. It's simple. I think it's pretty easy. It doesn't require much prep work. It didn't take me that long to make it. I would say like the total prep time is about 10 minutes, maybe a little longer because you have to cool the fennel. It doesn't take long, and it's a nice sauce and expresses really the bounty of the winter here, I think, in this region. But also, this is a sauce, as I mentioned earlier, that you can make pretty much anywhere. Usually now, I'd say, in most major cities, you can get blood oranges and fennel and avocado any time of year, specifically this time of year. Now, you can also sub out. So if for some reason you can't find blood oranges, don't worry, you can still make the sauce. I think it would taste great with like a ruby red grapefruit in it instead of the blood orange. That can be fun. And navel orange, usually that's pretty much slam dunk available everywhere. And that would work. Even like satsumas, I think, would work. So feel free to play with this sauce. The base really is the fennel and the avocado, and then a citrus of some kind. And so enjoy it, and please check out my blog. It's www.gabriellemyers.com, and the link is provided at the end of this video. And please also like and subscribe my channels. I need some to my channel. I need some followers. Right. Thank you guys. Happy cooking.